What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Keeping It Real review. Today's the finale review of Marvel's The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 6, titled One World, One People. As always, I'm James, joined by Jack, Calvin, and Reese. Before we get started, guys, everyone just make sure to follow us on Twitter at Keeping It Real UK and subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple to get brand new episodes on Mondays and Wednesdays. With that out of the way, what did everyone think of the final episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Calvin, you could start.
I think I'm going to go controversial here and say that I didn't love it
No!
all that much. I liked it, but I feel like for a finale, it didn't deliver for me personally on a lot of things. I'm happy of where all the characters ended up in the end, corresponding to the development throughout the series. But I found everything a bit rushed. I found them that they sort of promised things from certain characters, and then they sort of amounted to nothing in the final episode. I found it too predictable in places. I also think it struggled in the middle. I felt the beginning and end were the strongest, and in the middle was a lot of just sort of meandering and not really developing much of anything, because I think it felt like it was caught between what the season has been, which has been, trying to stay with a sort of character study, but then also know that it's still a Marvel thing, so it has to pay off with the action. And I feel like this episode felt a bit of a mess because of that, and I felt like they didn't have the time they wished they had, so everything just felt a little bit. They were just pacing issues.
Yeah, I know. They have stated, even when they were in production, that they approached it as a 6-hour movie instead of like a series, and I guess that might be where the pacing issues come in.
Yeah.
Because we are watching it week to week, that we are sort of like, starting again, and we expect an arc within every episode, but that's not the way they approached it. And yeah, I like, because we've said we've had pacing issues with other episodes as well, so maybe that was maybe they need to change that up for future series. Reese, what did you think?
I was actually a little bit disappointed as well.
Oh my god!
I know. I just feel like there was, like, I think what Carmen said, there was pacing issues, and I feel like they just didn't. There was things I feel like they could have focused on more that they didn't really go into as much. And I just feel like, I don't know. At the end of the episode, I was just like, I just wanted a bit more, and I think they could have really benefited from a couple of more episodes in the season. Like, not like a load more.
One or two.
Yeah, 1 or 2, but I reckon they could have benefited from that, because at the end of the episode, I was just a bit like, well, I just wanted a bit more from it. I think I didn't get it.
Okay, so. Jack?
The total opposite.
So it's going to be a 2v2.
Yeah, I loved it. I have some issues, but they've been like my issues throughout the whole show. Like I can't even remember her name. The leader of the Flag Smashers. What's her name again?
Carly.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about her. I'm not sure if it's the character or just the actress. I think it's the character, to be honest. But I just doesn't work for me. I don't find it interesting. It was every time she was on screen, I was kind of like, this is just filler for me. Like, this is just,
she was barely on screen anyway.
Yeah, I was like, this is just to kill 10 minutes until we get to the good stuff again. But I honestly, the second that Sam, spoilers, throws that shield through the window and then lands in his new suit, I almost cried my eyes out. That was awesome. Seeing him fully donned in a Captain America suit was just immense. Like, from the beginning, I was like, oh, they're definitely going to make him Captain America. And then there were a few points throughout the series, I was like, oh, maybe they're not going to do that. And then when they finally gave it to me, I was like, yes, this is why I was here. Let me suck it all in. This is immense.
Yeah.
There are. This show has always been character over plot for me. The whole plot with the Flag Smashers and the GRC. If they delved into it a bit more, it could have been interesting, but they didn't devote it the same amount of screen time as they did some other things. So it never felt properly developed. And I know they did cut out a subplot with like a virus, and that's why they were transporting vaccines and all that. So maybe that would have helped us actually empathize with Carly a bit more. But yeah, Jack, what you said, as soon as Anthony Mackie flies through that window, the suit itself, I think, could use a couple of tweaks. I'm not a fan of like the half cowl thing. I think the rest of it's fine. Maybe take out the shoulder pads, but the half cowl, it seemed to limit his mobility, and he looked a bit stiff. But just the image of Sam wearing that suit and throwing that shield around is so evocative and powerful. I was overwhelmed by it. I was, oh my,
yeah.
I was excited to see it, and then when it actually did happen, I was like, oh, this means so much more.
Yeah,
they've really done a good job of making that reveal feel earned.
Yeah, I just loved as well that he's similar to Steve in like his morals, and like he empathizes with people, which is what Steve was like so good at. But
yeah,
also like what I loved is he is just a man. I don't know if Steve was a man as well, but Steve was a super soldier. But watching Sam just throw around the shield and do all this man stuff, I was like, this is just one man just fighting because he feels like he needs to fight. And I was like, it's just immense.
Yeah, I thought everything they did with Sam in this episode was the highlight of it, and that's why I actually like every bit with Sam is the bit I found myself really, really enjoying.
Yeah.
I felt that obviously it felt so earned, and obviously the monologue at the end sort of perfectly encapsulated him taking up the mantle of Captain America. Like, he is Captain America now.
The way he questioned authority.
Yeah, but I did like that his biggest act as Captain America came not in the suit at the end of the episode with Isaiah. Like, I think that was the best scene in the entire, like the most emotional scene in the entire episode.
That got me as well.
Yeah, I thought it was so powerful, and it really bookended the show, which sort of, has been exploring issues of race. They really ended on that note.
Yeah,
that this is how it's going to be explored, and I think that they did deliver on. Obviously his suit, like seeing him in a new suit is amazing, because he's never really been given a decent suit. Even the last Falcon suit was a bit lackluster. But yeah, I still didn't. The shield, it still doesn't make any sense to me. It can literally kill a man, but then it can get deflected by a chair. Kicks a chair up. Yeah, it just like comes off. It's like,
that did get a laugh from me. I was like, oh.
Yeah, but yeah, I think some of my issues. It's weird because it's an issue and not an issue that Sam, obviously everyone else is going to be overshadowed in this episode, because it's Sam's ascension, and Bucky suffers it for the most. But everyone else feel like they were just a bit part in this. They, like, all the characters they built up over the course of the last 5 episodes just felt like they had nothing to do in this episode. It was mainly about Sam.
I feel like I kind of feel the same as that. I feel like when John Walker turned up, they were just like, cool, easier. There was like nothing.
Yeah.
Like, even the last time they saw him, they had just,
they built him up to be
10
like
shits out of
antagonist.
Like 10 shits out of each other. He turns up, and they're like, cool.
Yeah, like, so he does get like a small redemption arc within this episode, which it felt kind of off.
It's just too quick.
You can't just quote Abraham Lincoln and then be a good guy again.
But it's because obviously they want that character to continue in the future, and so that they tried in the last episode, like, let's not have him as a villain. He'll be an anti-hero.
Yeah, which the Marvel MCU is lacking, to be honest. Like, I feel like they're bringing more, because we've only really had Loki, but then obviously they've got Zemo, they got US Agent. I feel like they want more of these morally grey characters.
Yeah,
they feel more real. But yeah, I like that where he ended up becoming US Agent. I'm glad he didn't get killed off. But I felt like his term was a little bit too quick.
Yeah.
But I do like that they were going that way with him. Like, I like where he ended up, and now he's going to be this sort of morally grey character. But I didn't like that the woman he ends up with, Julia Louis-Dreyfus character. They should have. I feel like they need to say what her moral, like show us her morality. Is she a straight up bad guy? Is she more of an anti-hero? Is she you know, a good person? Like I feel like they should have hinted a bit, because now we don't know what's it like is going to happen with US Agent. They didn't show us any of the ramifications of that.
Then will our questions be answered in Black Widow? Because obviously she's in that.
I don't know if she's going to have that much screen time. It'd probably be a post-credit scene at this point.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel because that came first. I feel like that is going to be more. Well, it was supposed to come first.
More of a setup.
Might be. We might understand a bit more after that.
His last scene. Whilst I like the reveal, you know, they're calling him US Agent and giving him a new suit. That scene just didn't really play right for me. Because obviously, you know, he did do that terrible thing, and then he saved the truck, helped catch them. But his scene just came off as hopeful instead of a more like, I don't know, sinister or shady.
I think like, for me, it felt like he was kind of like naive to what was potentially happening around him.
Potentially, and if that's the way to go with it, then this might,
like, I think,
in retrospect, feel better.
Yeah, I think I kind of got from it that obviously we don't know what Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character is up to, but to me, it looks and sounds shady. But to him, it's just like he's being given a second chance. So he's just he's been given the new suit and the new role, and he's still doing what he was doing as Captain America. But
he is a bit naive, like you said, naive though, because there's one line she says like, "The world's about to go mad, and we're not going to need a Captain America." At that moment, I'd be like, "What do you mean by that? What are you talking about? Like, what's gonna?" He's like, "Yeah, cool." He's like, "All right."
If anyone said that to me, I'd be like, "What?"
His wife as well is standing next to him through thick and thin. She's just happy to go whatever he's doing, or his marketing agent, whatever.
His marketing executive.
Maybe she's both.
She's the real hero.
She's just happy to go along with anything that man does.
Yeah.
She needs to break him up. He's a toxic man.
Yeah.
You deserve better. Whatever your name.
I think
whatever
you deserve. You deserve better, man.
Mrs. Walker.
Ma'am.
So we talked about Carly, and none of us were really into her character at all. And she does meet her demise in this episode.
At the end of... was that?
Yeah. Terrible Mexican standoff.
Oh my God.
Let's do something really original.
I think I can safely say that Carly may be one, if not the worst Marvel villain.
I will trump you with Malekith from Thor: The Dark World.
I've not seen that, so I can't comment on it.
You haven't even seen it.
That's why I said she's one of. But like, it's just like, I thought maybe they could turn her, maybe something would happen, and then Sharon Carter, of all people, the cardboard box of the Marvel universe, shoots and kills her.
Because Sharon was also protecting herself, because we'll get to her in a minute, but I just wanted to say that despite Carly not being a great character throughout, I actually felt her final scene was quite poignant. I think it was done quite well, and how it impacted Sam, I thought that all worked, and it would have just been even better if it was a character
I don't know. I just feel like when she was shot, and then immediately she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Yeah,
so you don't change that quickly.
No, I got that, because her fight wasn't with Sam. Like, and she
I could say I've never been shot, so I don't know.
it's just a shame. It's just a shame she was a character that only served to benefit Sam in this way. I get she's a character, she's not real, but she did die, and now you're like, oh yeah, but it serves Sam's purpose. Like, is that what we want? Is that
the flag smasher in the Winter Soldier?
Is that what we want? Yeah, but is that what we want from, characters that they've obviously segued into TV now, because there's more room to explore these sort of characters. But at the moment, I feel like they're still tripping over themselves and trying to make her interesting, but she still comes off largely one note.
Yeah, and you know what? I know you said this isn't Flag Smasher and the Winter Soldier, but I think the Flag Smasher's got more camera time than the Winter Soldier did in this last episode.
yeah.
He's in it for about 5 minutes all told, I think.
Yeah, there's no point of him being in it.
He
to be honest.
really,
I was so
he did get
so
shafted in this episode.
prepared.
He punched
for
a
that
few people.
I was so prepared for that scene. I was waiting for the scene where he goes back and talks to that old man.
Yeah, that was
and
was
then
a
it
real
was
letdown.
just, it was so crap.
It felt a
Yeah.
bit rushed.
I've never
yeah,
been
we
so disappointed to be.
We wanted like the
not
sort of
sad.
conversations that he was having, that Sam was having with Isaiah. These really like poignant,
Yeah.
emotional
Yeah.
conversations, and I think we all wanted to see that for Bucky, and none of that was. They've just butchered his conclusion to the show.
I don't.
Yeah,
I,
like,
I, they didn't butcher it for me. I thought it still worked. I would have liked maybe a bit.
I just
to run a little longer.
I just feel
I
like
still think
when
it
I just
got
feel like when
across.
yeah, I just feel like when we had that Sebastian Stan scene where he's in Wakanda and they're like trying to break him out of being the Winter Soldier, he was so good at conveying that emotion that I thought it was almost like he had another opportunity to really like show his chops basically. It was just like taken away from him from that scene. I think that would have been really
just in the edit. Yeah,
like here's 5 lines
cut down for time.
That's all you get. Like,
especially it was his character's end technically in this show. Obviously not ever.
But I
feel like.
But now he's an ex-terrorist who brings cake to a boat party.
Yeah.
but like it's just like they've not exactly been sticking to like a really like similar time frame of for the episodes.
They've all been around 45, 50.
But the last that one episode that was longer.
Yeah.
Like why couldn't, if you're gonna make any episode longer, you can make the last episode longer.
It might not just be about time. It might be about it pacing within the episode, which I know we have said is an issue, but for them it might not have played well with how they were editing it.
Yeah, so
it was sort of like a
scheduling
montage
thing.
type. It was sort of like a montage type scene, that end.
Yeah, because even when we see him outside the cafe, it still doesn't give much away of what.
I
he's
thought
looking through the window.
Yeah, he played that well with his face.
Yeah, I feel like one of the most unsatisfying ends to characters in the show was Zemo's. I just felt that last bit in this episode, the only bit that he was in, with him, killing off the rest of the Flag Smashers, does make sense to him, getting rid of the super soldiers. But I just felt it was so unearned. And for a character where we get to see all of his plans meticulously come together, and then him to just something to blow up, and then him to just be sat in his cell without even hinting at how he might have done it.
What I didn't like about that scene,
worked for his character.
He's definitely in communication with Contessa Val. Well, but hell, the rest of her name is.
I just felt it was not really. They just didn't do him any justice, to be honest. They brought him back. It feels like purely for you said the Thunderbolts in the future. When I don't want just characters to come in and just be a segue into something else, because then they don't feel real to me. Yeah, it is, but they're trying to. I thought the whole point of coming into TV was trying to steer away from that a little bit, so characters feel more full and fleshed out, which they do.
What I found kind of weird about that scene is there was that one guy, obviously there was that one soldier who said one world, one people. So it was supposed to be setting up that there's more of them, and then it's just blown up, and I was like, I feel like we didn't need. And I don't know, it was only a small detail, but I think we didn't need that.
No, I think it was a dig. I think it was a dig sent by either Julia Louis-Dreyfus' character, whoever blew up the truck. I feel like it was.
I don't know, because that guy smiled though.
No, I feel like it was. I feel like it was.
Which guy
most likely
are you on about?
The soldier said to the Australian guy, "Oh, New Zealand, wherever he is," he said, "One world, one people." Then he closed the door, and he was smiling at him as he did it, and then they blew up.
I saw it as a little dig. Yeah, I saw it as gaining their trust is this is the last thing you'll hear, because this is what you've been fighting for, and it's the last thing you're going to hear.
Turning it around on them, basically. Yeah. So we mentioned Sharon Carter before, as we all suspected. She is the power broker, unfortunately, even though it was not built up well.
The line as well. That line was awful. When she was like, the power broker isn't much without power. I was like, oh, that's like a GCSE media student role there.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me how she is the power broker. It doesn't make sense for a character.
Apparently, someone said today that lots of people think she's what are they called? Skrulls.
Skrull.
People think that she's one of them, and so she's trying to infiltrate the government.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
potentially.
I mean,
did see
if that's true,
her set
then
up as like,
that's a more interesting.
yeah,
That's just going to be the new theory
she's-
now for everything.
She's
isn't it?
bad now.
that's been the
Yeah.
theory for about 3-4 years now.
Anything you don't,
Everyone's a
anything like,
Skrull.
anything you don't like, someone's going to be like, "Oh, it's a Skrull."
Yeah, and I don't
But
want
it-
them to go that route of it
I
being
bet there was
a
one
cop-out
guy
for
who
every.
all the way through has been saying that Nick Fury's a Skrull, and then watched Spider-Man and was like, I knew it.
Yeah, he hasn't been a Skrull the whole time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though.
Yeah,
I bet
only in
there's
that
one
movie.
guy. That's why I said I bet there's one guy out there who's been saying it the whole time, and he's like
Yeah.
now convinced that he was just right the entire time.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Sharon gets pardoned by the government, and because she is the power broker, that's her way in to all government secrets and prototype weapons. So I saw that as possibly a setup for secret invasion, but also armor wars, maybe, because it's all
Yeah.
about weapons getting into the wrong hands and stuff. Have we got a release date for armor wars?
It hasn't.
it's like end
No, I
the-
feel like that's one of the later ones, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I think it's a long time till that one.
Yeah. Her character in this show never worked for me. From her first episode, she wasn't set up well. I think we all predicted she was going to be the power broker, and none of us were happy with that.
Yeah, it's fine if it's predictable but satisfying. But when it's predictable and not satisfying, you're just like,
it's predictable just because we know that would be an easy reveal.
It seems like maybe they didn't have another idea of maybe they didn't want to bring another character in, something like that.
Yeah, it didn't work for me at all. And Batroc is gone. He didn't do a lot, did he?
Yeah, that was
He just left.
really, that was crap as well.
Got some kicks in and then got shot.
Well, I remember we did say about Bucky getting shafted this episode, but at least he got a superhero landing.
Yeah, he did get
A
superhero
big
landing.
one.
Superhero landing,
Yeah.
And he got a thank you as well. That was nice, even though no one would stop and say thank you in that situation.
Yeah, I'd be gone.
I need to bring this up. Right at the start of the episode, when Bucky's walking into the building, and Sharon Carter pulls her face off.
Oh yeah,
It's me. I'm like, if you're gonna pull it off there, why are you wearing it at all?
Yeah, why are you wearing a mask?
Where's this technology come from as well?
Well, yeah, it was the same thing that Black Widow had in Winter Soldier, wasn't it? But it I don't know if Emily Van Camp's just not a very good actress, but because there was a moment in the last episode as well, she was on the phone. I was like, that's some of the worst phone acting I've ever seen.
It's like, it was really bizarre. Just like if she was going to unveil it at the beginning.
Don't do it outside.
It's like me if me and you got on a bus together, but I look like someone else and I stand next to you. I'm just like, it's me. Like why? So needless.
Yeah, that was silly. But yeah, so again, all these negatives aside, this show really was just about bringing Sam to the forefront and making him. I know a few people at the end of Endgame were like, well, why Sam? Why is he being given this mantle? Why is he being passed a shield? And this show has done such a good job, I think, of making Steve's choice feel like the right one. Because in the movies, we don't get very much Sam at all. But in this, we learn what he's about. We see his morals, and we see he is that type of. He's not another Steve Rogers, but he is, within the same vein of character.
Yeah.
And I think they really nailed that. So while the rest of the show wasn't perfect, I think they really stuck the landing with making him Captain America.
Yeah, I feel like
but the main thing.
With one half of the show, they did a really good job.
Falcon and also Bucky is here.
I thought they did a good job with Bucky.
Someone said to me, they were like, at the end, when the credits changed,
yeah,
they were like, it should have said Captain America and Bucky, and I was like, no, it shouldn't have.
I did think that at first. I did think that at first because I was like, oh, he's moved on from the Winter Soldier. He's not the Winter Soldier anymore. But then I watched it a second time. I was like, okay, I get it. Like, obviously, the Winter Soldier is a cool name. You want to keep that. But it was never about him moving on and forgetting it. It was about him accepting what he's done and living with it and making amends. So I was like, that does make sense. And I don't know about you guys, when that end title card, when it changed to Captain America and the Winter Soldier, I gave it a little clap. Yes. I wanted them to do it from the first episode.
It's shamefully, like, it came up and I saw it was changing. And in my head, for like a brief second, I was like, what's he going to say? Like, it was like one fleeting. I was like, what? Oh, yes. I see.
Oh, yeah. I have been watching this
Black
for 6 hours. Black Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So they've just announced.
People start calling him Black Falcon.
Only in this. Yeah.
I was so confused.
Like
People like, yes, the Black Falcon. I was like, when did that happen?
Yeah, but we don't see many bystanders in.
He's the only
films.
Falcon.
Can you imagine every film just focused on like a group of people just calling all the superheroes the names they think they are?
Yeah, and if that Torres, is his name Torres?
Yeah,
Torres.
If he becomes Falcon now, they'll be like, Hispanic Falcon.
Hispanic Falcon.
Yeah, Latin Falcon.
Yeah, so they have just announced, well, not announced, but the Hollywood Reporter came out with an article that Captain America 4 is in development.
Yes, with
the showrunner from this. So, and then I think it came out today as well that Bucky will be in that, and I'm happy about that because they put Sam at the forefront, but I think those two really they complement each other very well.
Yeah,
as a pair.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind.
Is the showrunner directing and writing it, or is someone else directing? He's writing apparently.
No one's announced his director, but
hopefully it's the Russo brothers.
Maybe. Nah, get someone else in. So many Russo brothers movies. Get someone else in. But
I don't think the showrunner of this should direct it because, well, it depends because it's the pacing for a film is so different to a TV show. I think they might struggle with that.
Yeah, well, yeah. So it's Malcolm D. Lee, and then the writer who did a couple of episodes. I think he did these last 2 episodes. He's also gonna write, but no director announced so far. But I'm glad they're taking it from a series like as a jumping off point, and actually giving him a movie.
I wouldn't have minded another series, but you've made your statement now. Like Sam rightfully is Captain America,
and you don't give Captain America a TV show. You give
Captain America gets
movie.
A film.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he gets a contract, a 3-film contract minimum.
Oh yeah, well yeah. I'm sure Anthony Mackie's still on like a 15 movie contract. So
you've just been made Captain America. I wouldn't be like, I'm only going to do one more.
Yeah. What did everyone think of the suit? I know I touched on it before, but everyone
kind of like the same as you. I did really like it, but it's the same with all of them. Like every film, they tweak them slightly to make them better.
So the next one will probably just be
Like I remember like the Captain America in Avengers, and I was like, oh,
awful.
God, this is awful.
The worst costume
at the time.
MCU.
At the time, I was probably like, this is sick. But now, like in hindsight, now that you can see all the others, I'm like, oh, that is.
Yeah.
It looks
awful.
Tacky.
It's not even better. The first Avenger one is way better.
Well, yeah.
I'm a big fan of Infinity War Steve. I thought his costume was the best then. Gets rid of that stupid helmet.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier's costume was easily the best.
Yeah.
It was a stealth suit. I like the way the shield and the wings are they work together. So that he can shoot the shield, like propel it off his jetpack. And then also I forgot, like his wings are obviously vibranium.
So did I.
Yeah. So when he like shrouds it round and keeps the shield on top to deflect the helicopter, I was like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, I watched it with Calvin, and as soon as that happened, I literally turned to him. I was like, how the fuck does that work? And he was like, it's probably vibranium. And I was like, yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Because it literally just bounced off him. I was like, what a joke.
Like nothing in it.
What a joke.
Yeah.
Oh, that was cool. Right, let's rate this. I'm going to we'll do this episode rating and give your rating for the series as a whole as well.
Okay.
So obviously me and Jack are on the opposite side on for this episode. That's Calvin and Reese. But I'm going to go with a 9 for the episode. And for the series as a whole, I will give it an 8.
Fair.
Jack?
I'm gonna go for the episode 8.5 because I really liked Bucky before this, and I thought they were doing really well with him to start with, and I think kind of like petered off at the end. And I feel like he kind of got a bit shafted in this episode. But in terms of the whole season, I'm gonna go 9 because I feel like they did such a good job with Sam thinking at the beginning he's not Steve, he's not like worthy of being Captain America. It's like almost like the realization you don't have to be Steve to be Captain America. Like,
do it his own way.
You're going to do it your own way. And I just thought it was amazing. Like I wanted it from the beginning. They kind of threw me a few times. I was like, it's not going to happen. Isaiah won't respect him. It's not going to happen. And then they kind of really bring it back at the end. So I'm going to give it a solid 9. It was immense.
Calvin?
I think for this episode, I'm going to go for a 7. I just feel like all the stuff with Sam was amazing, but it sort of overshadowed everything else. The pacing was very off, and it seemed to keep bouncing around from topic to topic and character to character without actually putting any time into them. So I'm going to go for 7. And judging by how I've scored the rest of the series, I think it's fair to give the entire series a 7.5. I was going to go for an 8, but then James gave it an 8, and I feel like he's been more generous than me over the episode. So I feel like it wouldn't really make sense if I went for an 8 as well. So I feel like a fair 7.5, which is still great.
That's still good, yeah.
But I'll go for that.
Nice. Reese?
I think I'm going to give this episode a 7.5.
I thought he was going to go like 7.3 then. I was like,
no,
let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Nah, 7.5. Just because, like, there were a few things that I was a bit gutted about. But on the whole, I think it was pretty solid. And I found myself a couple of times being like, this is sick. So I did that. Pulled it up a bit. That's my rating system. It's either this is shit or this is sick.
Up, down.
This is shit or this is sick.
IGN 7.5. This is sick.
This is sick.
I love.
That's gonna be my version of Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
You go shit or sick.
I love the thought of Reese seeing something that he's like, this is pretty cool, but is it sick?
Is it sick?
And then if it's not sick, then it's just shit.
There's no in between.
I thought it was really cool, but I didn't think it was sick, so it was shit.
If it's in between, it's just ill.
Ill.
But I think the series as a whole, I'm gonna give it an 8 because I did really enjoy it. So overall, I think it's a 6.
I think I say it's 6.
No, 6.
So,
this is how I'm gonna rate everything we watch from now on.
Marvel, you can have that one. You can have that one for free.
At least after those ratings, Marvel know who to approach if they ever want to get someone involved. The Marvel fanboy. Come to me, Kevin.
And that's the show, guys. Thank you, as always, for watching. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Keeping It Real UK. From there, you can find links to our Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Please like, rate, and subscribe where you can. We will see you again on Wednesday for our spoiler review of Mortal Kombat. We think that's our best episode yet, so make sure you don't miss that. Until then, please share us around if you enjoy. And as always, keep it real.